Hello everybody and welcome to my Sever Necromancer in-game build guide. Now this is just part of, I guess, what I call the Shadow evolution, right? You start off with the leveling build, the Shadow leveling build, then it turns into, the in-game build, and then we get to kind of the best Shadow build, which I will release in a couple more days. The reason why I like these three builds though is that they all share pieces, so you can work from build to build very well. Hold on. Hello everybody and welcome to my Sever Necromancer in-game guide. So let's go ahead and hop on into it. So first off, you're going to want Aspect of Disobedience. You're going to want Aspect of Explosive Mist. So this is going to give you a stacking armor buff. This one is going to make your Blood Mist detonate your corpse explosion for you when you have corpses on the ground. Then you're going to want Aspect of Ultimate Shadow. This is going to turn your Bone Storm into a Shadow ability. This is going to be good because we're going to be playing a lot with shadow damage effects like Shadow Blight, so it's going to help give more shadow damage ticks so you can stack up Shadow Blight faster. Then we're going to have Aspect of the Shielding Storm. This is going to make your Bone Storm give you a barrier that's very, very good. You're pretty much going to be perma-shielded while your Bone Storm is up. Then we're going to have Eluding Aspect. Becoming injured while crowd control is going to grant you Unstoppable. This is the main downside of this build, is that we don't have amazing access to Unstoppable. We do have Blood Mist, but Blood Mist has kind of a long cooldown, so we are going to need CDR on our stuff, and we don't really have a way to reduce the cooldown with this. With this version of a Shadow build. So then we have Aspect of Grasping Veins. This is going to make it for when you cast Corpse Tendrils and you hit something with it, you're going to get a very big crit and critical strike damage buff. We have Blighted Aspect. You deal 170% increased damage for 6 seconds after the Shadow Blight key passive goes off. So this is really good because once it damages enemies 10 times, you just get this absolutely massive steroid, and all of a sudden your damage just kind of goes crazy there for a second. Then we have Aspect of Decay. So each time the Shadow Blight key passive deals damage to enemies, it increases the next Shadow Blight's damage within 10 seconds by 20%, stacking up to 5 times. So again, this is just another solid damage buff. And then we have Aspect of the Umbral. Restore 2 of your primary resource when you crowd control an enemy. And then we have Blood-Soaked Aspect. This is going to make it to where your Blood Mist no longer slows you, and it leaves yet another shadow damage trail for another tick for your Shadow Blight. Now, when it comes to the stats for the gear, I'm going to have a link in the description below. It's going to be in the notes section of that link. So if you want to see exactly the secondary stats that you want to roll on all the gear, because Necro's a little weird, I guess, a little bit with the secondary stats you want to roll sometimes. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw it down there since I don't have the best stats on every single piece of gear. So that being said, let's go ahead and hop on into this Book of the Dead here. We have Skeletal Warriors, Reaper, Sacrificed. This is going to give you increased shadow damage. Then we have Skeletal Mages, Sacrificed, increased vulnerable damage, and then we have Golems, Iron, Sacrificed for increased critical strike damage. Right, your minions just kind of die at this point, so they're really just not that great. So I don't really recommend using minions for this build. Then we go over into the skill tree. We have Reap, Enhanced Reap, Alkalites Reap. This is really good because it guarantees you a corpse when you hit an enemy, so you can get your corpse tendrils off. Then we have Sever, Enhanced Sever, Paranormal Sever. This is your main damaging ability. It also is going to give you access to Vulnerable every 4th cast. We're going to be taking Unliving Energy. We're going to be taking Imperfectly Balanced, increased damage. We're going to be taking Hewed Flesh. This is going to give us corpses. This is really important when you are fighting bosses because you're not always going to have corpses or access to corpses when you're fighting bosses, so this is going to help with that. And then we have Blood Mist. Obviously this is just going to detonate your corpse explosion, and the reason why we actually want that to happen is because we're going to be taking this Blighted Corpse Explosion, so it's going to leave a puddle on the ground that does shadow damage over time, which is going to help trigger your Shadow Blight damage. We then have So anyway, we'll be taking Enhanced Blood Mist and Ghastly Blood Mist. This is going to make it's gonna make your bloodless leave behind a corpse every second. And this isn't really relevant. This is kind of a wasted passive. We don't really overpower a whole lot in this build at all. But yeah, so then we're gonna max out Corpse Explosion, take Enhanced Corpse Explosion, Blighted. Then we got Grim Harvest, Fueled by Death. So whenever you consume a corpse, it's gonna give you a damage increase. Come down here, pick up Death's Embrace. Close enemies take 6% more damage from you and deal 9% less damage from you. Then we have Corpse Tendrils, Enhanced Corpse Tendrils, Plague Corpse Tendrils. The reason for this, it gives us Vulnerable, a Critical Strike damage buff, and a Crit damage buff. We're going to put 2 ranks into this. Then we're going to take 2 ranks into Necrotic Carapace, so as we are forming corpses, we get Fortified for free. Then we're going to have Reaper's Pursuit, Crippling Darkness. This is going to make your Darkness skills stunned. This is really good against bosses because it really helps build up that stagger on the bosses really fast. Then we have Glue. When enemies take Darkness Shadow damage from you, it's going to increase the amount of Shaman damage they take up to 3 times, so for 18%. And this kind of sucks that minions aren't that good because they have a lot of like overlap where it says like these bonuses are for you and your minions, but whatever. Minions just die too fast. Then we have Terror. Darkness skills deal 9% bonus damage to enemies who are slowed, and 9% bonus damage to enemies who are stunned or immobilized. So, pretty good. And this procs itself because, you know, you have this here, and then you have, I believe you have a slow on your, your Corpse Tendrils. Slows them as well. So, you have ways to proc that, so that's pretty cool. Then we move over here. Stand alone. Pretty big damage reduction since we don't have an active minion. And then we have Memento Mori, so sacrificing both Skeletal Warriors and Skeletal Mages is going to increase their sacrifice bonuses by 60%. And then we have Bone Storm, Prime Bone Storm, and Supreme Bone Storm. This is going to give you a crit and a damage reduction buff while your Bone Storm is active, in addition to the shield and barrier you're going to get. And then we have Shadow Blight. So when you do Shadow damage, you deal 10% bonus damage to enemies with Shadow Blight, and then every 10th time an enemy receives shadow damage from you or your minions, while they are affected by Shadow Blight, they're going to take an additional 1700 shadow damage. So this is kind of one of the things that we're playing with, and once this deals damage 10 times, that's how we get the buff and all of that. Okay, so when it comes to Paragon, again, so since I am not max level, I'm just going to have the full Paragon tree in the link in the description for the build, so let's go ahead and just hop on into some gameplay. Alrighty, Serpent Slayer 27. Might be a little high, but that's okay. Oh, where the heck am I going? Ooh, I thought that was a path down. God, it's been a minute since I've been in Serpent Slayer. Okay, here we go. Get a corpse, do this. Detonate stuff. And there's a little bit of range to this build, which is nice. See, 81. Okay, so he's about 5 levels higher than me. Okay. Shouldn't be too bad though, we'll see. Okay. Oh, why'd it have to be snakes? Sure. Oh, walked right into the death pulse. Yeah, if you're ever in like a tight spot where things group up on you, you can just press blood pulse and then watch, you know, all your corpse explosions go off. It's pretty nice. Just back him up over here. Boom, boom. Definitely doing plenty of damage here, it would seem. Okay. Starting to come up against any elite packs. Oh. Like, what I really like about Sever though too is, like, you know, you can send it from a range and then it comes back, so you can kind of just do whatever. There we go. just do this. Start stacking up our Shadow Blight a little bit. You can see that our damage just amps up pretty quick. So, pretty solid build. I really like Sever. And the cool thing about Sever too is it has 3 different, so you can do it as a leveling build, and then you can also do it as an in-game build because it's not, while the legendaries do like health, it's not like the end-all be-all for the build, right? So obviously as you push up higher, you know, any build's gonna need legendaries, right? But when it comes to leveling and like kind of getting going, this one's pretty solid for that. And it also transitions really well into a S tier build with the Blood Mist Shadow build, which is like an S tier, probably the best Necromancer build. I'll have a video on that one coming out as well soon after this one. So be on the lookout for that if you want to see the kind of final form of the Shadow builds. Because I believe somebody took the Blood Mist build and actually cleared a 100 with it, so Shadow's definitely pretty strong. Now granted, when it comes to like clearing 100s and stuff like that, you know, they're going to be fishing for like blind burrows and like really good dungeons and stuff like that, so. Alright. So, keep going. And keep in mind that your Blood Mist does create corpses for you, so even if you don't have corpses on the ground, you can just Blood Mist anyway, and then you'll get guaranteed shadow damage procs. Ooh. Oh, hey, Ancestral Gloves. There's also a pair of unique boots you can run with this build. God, what the heck are they called? My God, I can't think of it. I don't have them yet. But they actually have good secondaries. They have damage reduction on them. Like, they're really good. Like, you can actually run the unique with it if you have it, but it's not necessary. All it does is makes it to where, like, your specters leave a trail of shadow damage or something like that. So it's just another way to help proc your Shadow Blight faster. So I think, like, optimally speaking, I think those are probably boots you should wear, but, like, you don't necessarily you don't need them for the build to function, obviously. So like I said, I was playing this while leveling. I would switch between this and the Blood build whenever I was doing a little bit of leveling myself. And it worked out pretty good.
I need time to do that.
Okay. And depending on what I decide to start for Season 1, if I stick with the Druid, or if it's either going to be Druid or Necro. But if I do go Necro, I'm probably going to play this, I'll probably just go this Shadow build, and then focus on just getting to the Shadow Mist build. Just working my way into that build. But I don't know, we'll see. I really enjoy the Druid though too, so it's kind of hard to say. Alright, we got a lot of stuff going on here. So we're gonna do this, build up some Shadow, and just murder that guy. Not bad. Not bad at all. Get out of here, Nangari Oracle, my gosh. Little skellies. Get him, Skelly. Get him. Get him. Okay. Ooh. Yes. Yes, okay. Oh, and right next to a Ward of Eyes. Okay, here, we'll do this. Careful. Ah. See, it's kind of nice because I can kind of be a little bit of a range build here too. Alright. Start DPSing this Ward of Eyes. Get some shadow damage down so I can try to get this, so I can just kill this guy really fast. Oh, or I get hit by the stun. Come on. Ugh, I messed up my combo. Didn't get my shadow off right. Oh gosh. And there's the power attack I'm supposed to dodge. Cool. Oh. God, poison everywhere. Poison everywhere. And you can kind of walk and just throw your skeletons back since they have like kind of a boomerang effect where they go out and then back to you. Oh my gosh. Oh, you want to play, do you, elites? You want to play, do you? Oh. Yeah, and the Bone Storm feels like it just does so much damage, too. See, the ult definitely feels very impactful. Boom. Dodge that. Okay.
I'm not ready.
Awesome. Bam. And there it is. Okay. Cool. Ooh, hey, look. Found some gloves. Alrighty, well, that's going to do it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you next time.